Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we've arrived at Burgh Castle, which is in Norfolk, and we're here to do another circular walk which is 5.4 miles, and that'll be taken in the villages of Burgh Castle and Belton. Okay, so we're in the Roman Fort car park. It's a bit windy, so I hope you can hear me. So this one is a pay and display car park, but there are free spaces here in Burgh Castle, and I will show you that later when we walk round. But first, I'm looking back at the entrance where we come into the car park. So as you come into the entrance to the car park, you want to be taking your first left through the gate here. So through that gate on the left, and follow the path straight out. There is one going right also. If you can make out, there's the church there at Burgh Castle. So walk out, straight out to the trees there in front. So this path straight out here veers to the right in a minute and starts going round to the far right corner that I said, and you'll be getting closer to Burgh Castle Roman Fort. And don't forget to look in the video description, and that's where you'll find the postcode for the car park. Okay, we've just started to veer right, and if you can see the gate out in front, that's what we're heading for. And at that gate we'll be taking a left. And I better do the introductions. It's me, Chay, and out in front we have Lee and Nutty Nanny. Remember what I said earlier, left at the gate here, and I'll give you a quick glimpse of the Roman fort through these bushes. Can you see the wall there? Alright, so we're taking the left. Okay, so at the end of the path here you want to take a right at the red bin. There's a few signs here for you. Not that we're following any of these today. Well, we are sort of following the circular walk, which is the official Burgh Castle circular walk, but that is only a 1 mile circular walk. But if you like your short walks, that's one to do. And there is your first glimpse of the Roman fort. I shall give you some more information as we walk round. So we're going to head straight down this path in front. Okay, the Roman fort of Burgh Castle was built between 260 and 280 AD, and it's also grade 1 listed, and there used to be 1,000 soldiers stationed inside. Okay, so as I go round there's information boards, so I'll show you the information boards and you can pause and zoom in and read at your will. Okay, so we're walking down the south wall of the castle here. As you can see, this is the one that's leaning right over. So halfway down the side of this wall you want to be taking a right into the actual fort grounds. Now if I just show you here, now this wall to the left and down there used to be something, and I've been asked a question many times, why is it called Burgh Castle when there isn't a castle? There's a Roman fort. Well, that's because there used to be a castle here, and that castle used to be a Motte and Bailey castle, and that used to be situated right here and used to actually join up with this wall here. So from this wall here where the Motte and Bailey castle is, we want to be going a little bit to the right and straight out, and you see that that's the main gate. We want to be heading towards that. Okay, here's some more information for you. Now we have a stunning view from the Roman fort here, looking over the River Waveney, and over the other side of the River Waveney is the River Yare. And out in front there, in the middle of your screen now, that's Red Mill. And the building next to that, you can see it is white. That's Ravenshaw. And then over there, the black windmill with the white top and the sails, that's Burnley Arms. Okay, we've just arrived at that gate, and that's where we'll be taking the left, but first we have another sign, so I'll show you the information. Once again, you can pause and zoom in to read. So through that gate and take your left, as you can see, Nutty, Nanny and Lee are right in front there, and you want to follow the fort wall round to the left. I'll get you a closer look at the wall here. As you can see, flint and the old red tiles are there as well. Right, this is where we want to be turning left and following the wall. And halfway down this side wall, you want to be taking a right where the man is coming through here, or the lady. So in a moment we'll be arriving at the viewpoint, and this viewpoint will look out over the River Waveney and get a much better view of Burnley Arms. Here we are at the viewpoint with a beautiful view out over the River Waveney. So if I just turn directly behind me from the viewpoint, you'll see this gate. This is the one we want to be going through, and we want to be heading straight for the trees out there on the left here. So as you come past them trees on the left, on your left then, you will see Burgh Castle Church. I'll give you some more information when we get a bit closer, but first you want to be taking the left at the gate here, and just by the gate here we have some more information, so please pause and read if you wish. Okay, so we're now arrived at the church, and as you can see by the sign here, St. Peter and St. Paul, Burgh Castle. And this was built, some of it was built 13th and 15th century, and is grade 2 listed. I'll just stand to the side here so you can get a look at the church. Okay, so here we'll take the other gate out of the church grounds, but there's an information board to my left here. So before we leave the church, I'll give you a quick look at the information. Once again, please feel free to pause and zoom in. So this is where we'll be taking the left out of the churchyard gate. So we're now walking past the old rectory, and there's another gate here to walk back down to the river. So down the bottom here through the gate we'll come across the Angles Way trail, and we're going to be following that into the village of Belton. Okay, so this sign in front is where we join up to Angles Way. So if you went right, I don't know if you can make it out on the sign here, there you go, Angles Way, Gt.Yarmouth, 4.5 miles. And obviously Queen's Head pub in Burgh Castle is back up the hill and into the village. And this side, if you can see it, Angles Way, Belton, 1.5 miles. There you go, there's a few signs. the Anglesway sign, so following them now. So pretty easy from here in. And obviously walking on the wooden boardwalk here. So as we walk down this boardwalk, on our right here is Glebe Marshes. And obviously out in the distance there, if you can just make out over the top of the reeds here, Burnley Arms. So I'll be following this for about 5-10 minutes on the wooden boardwalk. Okay, so coming up on the left here now, there's some steps going up, and if you go up the steps there and right, that's where that viewpoint was up there. So you can get your bearings. Okay, so we're now stepping off the wooden boardwalk, and we want to be taking a right here. I'll just show you the signs again. So obviously we are on Anglesway, so we want to be taking the right on Anglesway. There's a little wooden bridge we have to cross down here, and then a very, very, very narrow path to navigate. And at the end of that path is the Fisherman's Inn pub with a very, very nice beer garden. And a little tip here as well, if you like to see the sunset, come and sit in their beer garden and watch the sunset. Perfect spot. Okay, so we're now arrived at the wooden bridge. So down there on the left hand side is Burgh Castle Marina and the Fisherman's Inn. So I'm just going to give you a quick pan round of the River Waveney. This is that narrow path that I was telling you about. It's not too narrow, but narrow enough. You struggle with a wheelchair or mobility scooter. There's a lovely couple of properties here on the left here. Got a lovely view out over on the River Waveney here. As I said earlier, there's Burgh Castle Marina. It's Good Child's Marina. And if you can make it out now, coming up on the left here, the grey building on the left, that's the Fisherman's Inn. The entrance is round the side and round the back, and they've got a lovely beer garden, as I said earlier. But we're not going to stop today. We're going to carry on walking, but please feel free to stop there, especially if it's in the evening, sunset time. It's a lovely spot to see the sunset come down. So you just follow the path. Remember, it's Anglesway still, so follow them Anglesway signs. So you want to come up the side of the pub here. Okay, there's the sign. Fisherman's Inn. You want to head straight through these rocks here. So head straight up, and then you want to take your right. I will show you the footpath signs here. Don't need to tell you again which trail it is, because I'm sure you know already. There you go. Remember to keep following them. So we're still walking through the marina grounds here on Anglesway, and this building in front, you want to go down on the left of that. When we get to the the next turn there's a left and a right, but we were going to follow to the right, which is Angles Way. But to the left, if you want to shorten this walk, you could, which is Porter's Loke. And I'll show you when we come round, when we do our big circular, when we come back from Belton and we head back to Burgh Castle. I'll show you where the other end is, where you come out, so you'll know how to shorten it and where to go. Okay, so here's that turn I was going on about. So we want to be taking the right here. That's Porter's Loke that I said, if you want to take the short route. So we're following Angles Way, so take the right. So we're heading back out towards the River Waveney, and at the end of this path here we'll come out at Burgh Castle moorings, and I believe they're 3 moorings, I do believe. I think they're 3. I'll just check when we're there. So we'll just check the sign on the left here. There we go. 3 moorings. Maximum stay 24 hours, no return within 24 hours. There you go, Burgh Castle moorings. And there's the postcode. So this is where we're going to be making a left turn and heading down there in that direction towards the village of Belton. Before we turn here, don't know if you can make it out in the middle of the screen there, the mill, that's Black's Mill, and down there to the right, that's Belton Marshes. So we're still following Angles Way. I'm going to go through this gate and head out down the footpath. Follow the signs. Straight through the gate here, heading towards Belton, still on Angles Way. So we've just come through that gate and walked a bit further down the path, and we've arrived on Rivers Way, which is in the village of Belton. So we've now come to the end of Rivers Way, but we're still going to be following Angles Way. There's the sign. So we'll head down that way is St John's Road, leading on to Waveney Drive. But we'll be heading right here, and as you can see on the sign, so you walk up on Station Road North, and there's a corner, and on that corner you'll find the Wild Duck Holiday Park. So this is that corner I was talking about. So we now reached the Wild Duck Holiday Park. I'll just show you the sign. There you go. And obviously we're now going to be leaving Station Road North. So I'll just show you the sign now. Station Road Safe from now on. And also we are still on Angles Way, but we will be leaving Angles Way very shortly. You have the Belton Tavern coming up, the pub, which is opposite Sandy Lane, and that's where Angles Way goes up, Sandy Lane, but we're going to carry on straight on. So we have Belton Tavern on the left here, and as I said, Angles Way turns right down Sandy Lane here. So this is where we're leaving and walking straight over. So you want to be walking all the way down the end of Station Road South, and there we'll be crossing over Beccles Road towards the Green. So here on Station Road South we have Dove Cottage, which is thatched and 16th century and Grade 2 listed. We want to be crossing over here, cross over Station Road South towards the Rectory, Belton Rectory there. So we're at the end of Station Road South here, and we're crossing over Beccles Road and onto the Green. And then at the end of the green road, we're going to be taking the left onto Church Lane. This is the original heart of the village, and these few cottages here are the original cottages. So we've now come to the end of the green, and as I said, we're now coming on to Church Lane. Obviously will take us up to Belton Church. Okay, so here's Belton Church, All Saints, and this one is Grade 2 listed and was built in the mid 13th century. So you want to still follow Church Lane. Okay, we're following Church Lane, still round to the right here. The church is on our left. If you wish to have some refreshments, you have a Tesco Express, a Chinese, and also a cafe or a bistro. So, sport for options there. If you need refreshments, that's the best place to stop. So you just want to turn off and come back, and that'll be Bell Lane you'll want. Just down there, not far at all. So we're still on Church Lane, just turning the corner, and then all it is now is you head down a slope to the bottom of Church Lane. When we get to the bottom of Church Lane, I'll give you some more information on where we're going. As you can see, we're now at the bottom of Church Lane, and the road running in front is New Road. What we're going to be doing is crossing over here where that white car is coming out, and that one is called Step Short. So we're heading down Step Short towards Burgh Castle then. So as you can see from the sign over the road, we're now leaving Belton and we're now back in Burgh Castle. Okay, so here we've left Step Short and we're now on Butt Lane. And to the right there, that one's Mill Road, so you know where you are. So we're heading back to the car park this way. As I said, it's Butt Lane all the way back to the car park. Okay, I just stopped here to show you the Burgh Castle village sign. So on Butt Lane here, you'll come past a couple of holiday parks. This one is Braden Water Holiday Park, Burgh Village. But coming up now, I don't know if you can remember, if you look on the sign, it's Porter's Loke. So if you remember, I said earlier, if you wanted to shorten this walk, you could. I couldn't tell you how many miles that would be, but significantly shorter. So here on the left also, you have Burgh Castle and Kingfisher Holiday Park. As you can see on the left here as you're walking past, Burgh Castle Marina and Holiday Park, and this is how you get to the Fisherman's Inn by road. Okay, so we're now coming up to another holiday park on the left here. This is Yare Village, and this is where we leave the footpath and we have to walk on road. Okay, the entrance to the car park off Butt Lane here is just on the left. So we'll cross over. Hope you've enjoyed today's walk. If you have, please like and subscribe, as you know that'll help us out a lot. So we better say our goodbyes, I suppose. So it's goodbye from me, Chay, and it's goodbye from Lee, and goodbye from Nutty Nanny. We'll catch you next time.